If you're trying to decide between central air conditioning and a heat pump, you've probably realized there's a lot of conflicting information online. Some people will tell you that heat pumps are always a better option, others swear by traditional AC. The truth is, neither one is automatically the right answer. It really depends on your home, your current system, your electrical setup, your budget, and what you're hoping to get out of it. I've been learning a lot from the team at Coastal Energy lately, and one of the biggest things they've taught me is that there isn't one system that's best for everyone. It's about finding the system that's designed for your specific home. Today, I'm breaking down the biggest myths, how both systems actually work, and what you should be asking before you spend thousands of dollars. Let's start with central AC. One of the biggest misconceptions that I hear is that if you want air conditioning, you're going to have to replace your whole heating system too. And for a lot of homes, that's simply just not true. One thing that Coastal Energy taught me that honestly surprised me is that if your gas furnace is still in good shape, you may only need to add a central AC to your existing system. That can make it a very cost-effective option. The outdoor unit actually looks very similar to a heat pump, but there's one big difference. A central AC system only cools. Your furnace still handles all of the heating during the winter, while the outdoor AC unit takes care of the cooling during the summer. The nice part is that everything works together through the same ductwork that you already have. It also uses the same furnace filter you're already replacing. You don't suddenly have extra filters or another complicated maintenance schedule. In fact, replacing your furnace filter during the spring before cooling season is one of the easiest ways to help your system perform at its best. Like any HVAC equipment, annual maintenance is still very important. The good news is your furnace and air conditioning can usually both be serviced during the same appointment. Another reason many technicians like this setup is because it gives homeowners flexibility. In some situations, adding central AC means that you can avoid expensive electrical upgrades that might otherwise be needed for another type of system. And because your gas furnace is still providing the heat, continue to get efficient heating during the cooler months, while adding comfortable cooling in the summer. Everything is controlled on one thermostat. When it's hot, switch to cooling. When winter comes, switch it back to heating. Simple. Right now, there generally aren't the same rebate opportunities for central AC as there are for heat pumps, but rebate programs change frequently, so it's always worth asking what incentives are available before making a decision. Now let's talk about heat pumps. Heat pumps have become incredibly popular over the last few years, and for good reason. Unlike central AC, a heat pump both cools and warms your home. Instead of creating heat the way that a traditional furnace does, it moves heat. In the summer, it moves heat out of your home. In the winter, it moves heat into your home. That's one of the reasons they're so energy efficient. If your home already has ductwork, a heat pump can often work with it. In that case, you'll have an outdoor unit connected to an indoor unit. The outdoor unit changes the refrigerant temperature and sends it inside, where a coil heats or cools the air before it's distributed throughout your home. Depending on your home, that indoor unit could be paired with a gas furnace or an electric air handler. There's no universal answer. Another thing Coastal Energy explained to me is that they designed the system around your house, not the other way around, which is exactly why proper in-house assessment matters. If your home doesn't have ductwork, that doesn't automatically rule out a heat pump either. Ductless systems are another great option. You've probably seen them mounted high on a wall, but they can also be installed in ceilings or other discrete locations depending on your house's layout. Every home is different. The goal isn't to force a system on your house. It's to design one that works with the home that you already have. If you're installing a ducted heat pump, the kind that uses your home's existing ductwork, you'll still use the same furnace filter you're already familiar with. If you choose a ductless system instead, each indoor head has its own filter that you'll want to clean regularly. Another misconception is that heat pumps are loud. Older systems definitely had that reputation, but today's equipment is much quieter, thanks to improvements in compressors, motors, and sound dampening. But here's something Coastal Energy taught me that I didn't know. If your heat pump sounds like it's about to take off every time it turns on, it isn't always because it's old. Excessive noise can also be a sign that the system wasn't installed properly. That's another reason why choosing the right contractor is just as important as choosing the equipment itself. One of the biggest advantages right now is the rebates. Although a heat pump usually costs more upfront, available rebates can sometimes offset a significant portion of that investment. The programs change over time, so the amount available depends on your situation. Another thing worth asking about is refrigerant. Refrigerant technology has changed a lot over the last few years. New systems now use newer refrigerants that are designed to improve efficiency, improve longevity, and reduce environmental impact. Coastal Energy explained that this is one of those behind-the-scenes details homeowners rarely think about, but it's still worth asking your contractor about the equipment they're recommending and why. So, what would you choose? Honestly, both are good. The better question is, which is better for your home? Another thing Coastal Energy kept saying while I was learning all of this is don't shop for equipment, shop for the right solution. Two neighbors could have nearly identical houses and still end up with different recommendations because of their existing equipment, electrical service, installation, or future renovation plans. There is not a one-size-fits-all answer. Finally, let's talk about something that's super important, finding the right contractor. In my opinion, this is the most important part. Most modern equipment is pretty good. The quality of installation often determines how well that system performs over the next 15 or 20 years. Don't be afraid to ask who's installing your equipment. Will experienced, ticketed technicians be doing the work? Will an apprentice be alongside them? What warranties are included beyond the manufacturer's warranty? How do they determine the right size system? What rebates will they help you apply for? Those are all really great questions. One thing I really appreciated about Coastal Energy is that they actually encourage homeowners to ask these questions. A good contractor should leave you feeling informed and confident, not confused or pressured. Whether you end up choosing central AC, a ducted heat pump, or a ductless system, Coastal Energy offers free in-home estimates where they will walk you through the different systems, explain any rebates you qualify for, and help you find the setup that makes the most sense for your home, just like I've been saying. As they like to say, straight answers, no shortcuts. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.